Alright, so this video is going to be about how to populate a town in Kenshi, or populate a town with the troops that you want. If you create a new town, or if you want to edit an existing town. Just a heads up, it's usually best to not touch the vanilla towns, because the mods, the load order decides what edits are sort of the last edits into a town. So there might be some confusion within the game afterwards, like some mods not working. So it's always, if you have an idea, just start working from a completely new perspective. I mean, you could even create, let's say you have a town like Mongrel and you like the atmosphere and stuff, you can just take that and just pretty much copy it somewhere else and then work on it, because that way there'll be as little confusion between the mods as possible. But yeah, so first you want to launch the modding tool, and I gotta say it's been a while since I've used this, so there might be some things that I'm not familiar with, but I think the population system is the same as it was before. So first you want to click here to create a new mod file, and you want to make sure that all of these are selected and then none of these are selected. If you don't have any mods, then this section will be empty. So we're just gonna call it, so I already have a test mod, so whatever, test population. And it didn't crash. What the hell happened? Okay. Yeah, so you want to select the mod that you want to edit. So leave all of these out and just pick that one, the one that you made for this one. And then yeah, let's just get started. So first you want to create a character, pretty much. So you want to, if you want to populate a town, you should have something to populate it with. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, you want to create all new characters. You don't really want to edit any of the characters that are in game, because then you might have some mod, what's the word, discrepancies, I don't know, I'm tired, but some mods might conflict with each other. I think that's the word. You can do it, and in some cases you have to do it, but most of the time, if you can avoid it, just avoid it. So you right click here on the empty window and make sure it's in the characters tab, and you create a new character, and we're just going to call him resident character, just to make sure, because I think there might be like a resident somewhere. And these are just going to be civilians, pretty much. So let's actually search for civilian, maybe resident. No, that's been too long, can't remember. Empire citizen. There we go. So we're just going to copy him. So we don't want to edit the original one, so we're just going to, let me just check that it's actually, yeah, he's got clothes and everything. So we are going to duplicate him, and I'm just going to make it ours, because that's what it is. Doesn't matter what you name them, it's just best to name them in a way where it makes sense. But since this is a test, it doesn't really matter. So over here you can edit the characters, and I think I went through this in the long video, so I'll just keep it brief. But you can select which clothes they have, and then the chance for that clothing being on them. So, and I think if you just create a list of all clothing, it's not going to stack them up. Like this character's not going to have like 10 pairs of pants, so it just chooses one out of the random thing, if I remember correctly. I shouldn't really stretch my guessing game that much, because it's, like I said, it's been a while. But we're happy how this guy is now, because he's just a civilian. And oh yeah, we don't actually need this one either, because we copied him. So scratch that. Let me just to keep everything clear, I'll delete this, because we don't need him. We just need this one, citizen, which is ours for this test. After that, every unit or every character needs a squad that they spawn in. So we're going to create a squad. You can open the factions tab and then find the squads there. And we're going to create a new squad. So it's going to be, I always do a header like squad, so that, because it's not going to show up anywhere, I don't think, so it doesn't really matter what you name them. So it's best to be as descriptive as possible. And I'll just name it like that. And over here, what we want to do is, first of all, select the leader of that group. And I think if you just set the squad, you can have a leader and 2 squads worth of units in this squad. So I think one of these people from a squad will become the leader if there is no leader, but you can give the leader different AI packages and then give the squad a separate AI package, which means that the leader will walk around and the squad will follow the leader rather than walk around in the in wherever they are, like in a town or just down the roads and stuff. So we're going to add a leader, which is our citizen, and then we are going to just add both squads, because they can be the same character. It doesn't matter. And it is minimum value and the maximum value, and 0 is non-random. So let's just add 2, and then in squad 2 we can add let's add 3. So there's 1 leader, 2 people in the second squad, and then 3 people in the 2 people in the first squad, and 3 people in the second squad. So we can play around with that a little bit. You don't have to do this. Like if you just want one character, you don't need a squad or anything like that. So then we are going to have them walk around. So let's AI packages. Yeah, I'm sort of, it's been a long ass time since I use this. So AI packages should oh yeah, right. So the AI package has leader flees while guards fight. I think that's pretty good, and we'll replace it with a copy just so that we don't edit any of the AI packages of other units. And then I'm going to rename it. If you double click anything, it opens that up. So we'll just name it like leader hours. And so he's going to go home and run away. And squad 1, I'm sorry, will attack enemies, and squad 2 will let's see what else we can have squad 2 do. Just do different things just to test it out that it actually works, and then just to show you that you can do it. So we'll find something else for them to do. We'll have them put loot in storage. I remember doing like a whole AI package for myself, because some of these were sort of not working, and then there weren't, like, not everything that you can have the AI do is actually in this menu. So I did that one, but I think they're long gone now. Stay home, sit around, use stuff indoors. So we're going to remove this one. So they're not going to do anything. The AI leader should actually not run all the time. This is for a special occasion, so you can have them run away. Let's say something happens and then they get this package. So we want this package to just be there constantly. So we are going to give the leader just to walk around. I think it's like patrol hometown. Not sure what patrol. So patrol hometown, and it's targeting itself, and then what it is, it's patrolling town. Let me see just quickly what the patrol is. Oh. Because that's a different one. Patrol, yeah, let me just put patrol hometown so they won't leave town, I don't think. So the first one is the starting hour. So I always do 0 to 24 hours, so they patrol all the time, but then these things should happen at certain hours, and then the weight is which one will it choose to do mainly. So if I put the weight of 1 here, he's going to patrol the hometown, and he's not really going to run away, I don't think, because I think urgent. Yeah, I don't remember exactly how this works anymore, so I don't want to start guessing and then lead you the wrong path. But let me actually remove this just to make sure that I won't confuse you. Oh shit, I removed the one that I wanted. So let me add it again. Patrol hometown and attack enemies. So he should still attack enemies, but he's not, I don't think, actively going to search them out or something, because some of these things are redundant and in the editor, like you can force somebody maybe not to attack at all and just run away, but then yeah, we'll see. So how this works now is the leader should be walking around town. These guys should probably be just standing around doing nothing unless they see an enemy, and then these guys are gonna hang around the building that we're gonna put them in and do stuff. And I'm just gonna create, maybe I should create 2 buildings so that you can sort of see how to populate different buildings. But how it works is the game actually chooses which buildings the squads go into, which is sort of counterintuitive in a way, but it has its sort of reasons, which I won't really get into now, but it's a sort of, in a way, it's a nice way of populating a town without actually having to do much about it yourself. So the game just picks a building for the squads. So now that we have the squad, did I name it ours as well? Yes. So then we're going to create the new town here, and we are going to just make it our town. And oh yeah, one more thing, I should create a faction for our new town, because I don't want it to be in any other faction, because I want to be able to edit things. So let's add a faction, which is just our faction. I have a mod where you have like a vassal faction, so I mean, I had a point there, but I lost it. But yeah, this is sort of our faction, so it's not actually the player's faction, though you can do that as well, but it's actually a faction that you can just edit around. So here we're gonna choose, let's take bar squads, which is if you have a bar in a town, then these squads are gonna try and spawn in there, and I think there is a limit to how many squads you can spawn in a bar, but I'm not sure. I think it's like seat related or something. Or then the squads won't actually go into the bar. But this is also a way to add squads into a town with a different faction than the town is. So you don't actually have them, you don't have to have them use the bar, you just have them spawn as part of the bar, and then you can make them walk around town and stuff. But their sort of home is the bar. So let's check mercenaries. I think mercenary wanders. I can't remember these anymore. Wandering from town to town, hang out in a bar. Alright, so let me just replace it with a copy again. And it's usually good to have one word that isn't in any of the other names, so that you can easily just find everything that you're working on. So these guys won't be wandering around from town to town. They will just be hanging out in the bar. And yeah, so this is the squad. Right. So they will spawn into the town and walk into the bar. And I'm going to have one building for civilians, for just like residents, and then one building for the bar. And that's it. And then you can, do whatever you want to with your town. Let me see here. So this is the squad menu, and there should be, because I'm not actually gonna have like, maybe I should. I'll add a bar person as well, if I can remember how. Maybe I won't do that right now, because if I don't remember how to do it, and it's gonna take a while just to remember it, it's gonna and if it's wrong, it's gonna just be a huge waste of time. So here's the type of town. I think it's the marker on the map. So if you wanna have the town have no marker and hide it, you can use this one. But then you won't be able to see it on the map. So it works in some ways. I think I got one mod where I had to hide a location. So if residents will replace faction default, else will add to it. So there are many ways of doing the same thing, which is sort of good, but it can seem confusing. But I like to keep, let's say if you have civilians for a faction, then you can add them to the actual faction. Or, let's see, what is our faction called? Did I just make a mistake? Oh, I didn't even create, oh, there it is. Our faction, let me, faction hours, so that it has the same one. So, I'll just clear this out so that we know what we're doing. So first, you create the character, and we have the citizen, which is just a civilian. Then we have the squad, which is found in the factions, and we have one for the civilians where we set the AI, we set who's in that squad. Then we have a copied mercenary group where we just took out one AI package, and otherwise it is the same one. So let's start with this one. I think since this is a bar squad, we're actually going to test it out and see if it works without making any changes. So they should just go and hang out in a bar if there is a bar, and we don't have to do anything else. But for our civilians, we are going to have to give them the place where they live. So we are going to go here, and this building name you can make it anything. So if you're creating like a very special type of building, you can add this one and it will show up if you click the door of the building or the building itself, I think. And this is the layout for the building, the exterior, and then the interior, and you can edit them and save them in the game. And I remember there being huge problems with it before, but I think since then things have gotten better. So we don't, well, let's just civilian residence. So we'll just test that out and see if it works. And then the exterior is, I can't remember what it's called there, but we can save a new one because the game has default sort of interiors and stuff. So we're just going to copy the basic civilian interior. And I don't think civilian houses have an exterior, but we'll save them anyway just to make sure, because sometimes things can be a little wobbly. So you want to, like with the editor, so you want to be sure to have everything right. I used to remember what these were called by default, but we'll just call it civ exterior and then civ interior. Then you can look around and have these things. So initial state of the door, like with civilian residences, it's good to be closed and locked so that like you can't just walk in there and start stealing shit or stuff, excuse me. And this is in the squad menu, so you're not in the town menu or any faction menu. You're giving all these commands in the squad menu. But yeah, we'll keep the door closed. Actually, we won't keep it closed now because I want to be able to go in there and have a look, and I don't want to create a test character really. Or though I'm gonna have to anyway. So random number of random characters, which is just you set it from here. Squad, I can't remember where it is, but I think you just, there used to be, I think, a random choose from list. Yeah, there you go. So you choose from list and then you add these characters in there, and then you can choose how many of them you have. But I think you can choose how many you have them over here as well. Let's see. Choose from list. Oh, the chance, right? So it just chooses from list and then how many. You set it from there, but we're not going to have any of those. Then we'll keep the door broken because I don't want to have anything happen so that we can't get in there, like when somebody walks in and just closes it. Artifacts, I don't remember what that is. Malnourished full, so they're not starving. If they have enemies, then this one. Multiplying, I think, is yeah, squad size. And force speed, just make them walk, though I don't think it overrides the, like, if there's danger, they're not going to walk after somebody to attack them. They won't be selling their home, or maybe they will. I'll just set it to true so that we can buy the house. And once we buy it, the people just walk out and all the interior is cleared, and then you own the building. The building designation is the one that you want to look for. So what we're looking for is residential, because this one can be, I think, set in the game, and it's set by the type of building that you use or the interior or something like that. I can't remember for certain, but this is the type of building that they will try to find in the town. So this is what I meant before when I said that you don't actually get to really choose the building unless you have a very limited amount of them. But this one is, let me just check, yeah, audio recording. So this one is, if there's like 3 residential buildings, then you don't really get to choose which one of them these guys will go to, but it's fine. Building is not ruined. This is a must, so the exterior and interior, I think at least the interior needs to be set here, and then it has to be the same in the building has to have this interior in its sort of settings, and you do that in-game in the in-game editor. The beds are not public. It is not public during the, well actually yeah it is not for now, and it's public during the night as well, just in case we want to do something else. And this one is good to be true with civilians, so they sort of keep repopulating. Since they're not really going to sell anything, none of this matters. So if you just leave it as default, you have to do more to make them sell things. But now, I'm just going to remember this one. I'll copy it now so that I can use it in game. And we're going to do a little test with this one. Like, do they have to have the building designation or anything if they hang out in the bar and are spawned in the bar? So now we go to the town, and did I just make it our town again? Yeah, I did, so I'll make it town ours. There we go. And so it's just going to be an outpost. It doesn't matter. This doesn't matter since this is for animal nests and I think like bandits and stuff, if they just spawn randomly on the map. The size radius, all the buildings have to be within the size radius, and it's always a circle. So if you have, if you're going to build a large town, you're going to have to increase this. And if you're going to have a small town, I think it pays to just decrease the size so that you can maybe build closer to it if you want to. And yes, doesn't matter. Right, so let's open up the faction and the town. So these are the two ones that we're gonna be editing now. And you can see that they both have bar squads. So I'm just gonna actually remove this one from the default faction thing, because if every town in your faction has a bar, then you can just put it here, but it's best to just separate every town and just do them separately. I think in any case, even with civilians, because you might have an outpost where there aren't any civilians, and then you're gonna maybe run into some problems. So what we're gonna do here is get some residents into the town. So not the faction, but the town. And it's going to be these ones. And this is how many there are. And then the second one is priority level. So if there isn't any buildings for some squads to spawn into, then the ones with the higher priority are spawned rather than the lowest ones. And since there aren't going to be any other residents, we don't have to worry about it, but you can increase it. And this is where, if you want to create generic towns for a faction, you can just sort of eliminate the squads that you don't want to spawn in, and then make sure that the most important squads are spawned in. And actually, I just realized we're actually going to need a bar vendor to populate the bar. So we're just going to copy one. So let's see, just a normal bar dude. Shop guard, barman. Doesn't matter. So we're just going to copy this one. There we go. And we're just going to leave everything as is. It doesn't really matter. The building designation is the bar. Exterior and interior, so bar and bar sign. Those are all good. And then we're going to go back to these windows. So we're still working on the town rather than the faction. And here we're going to take the bar squads, and I think maybe, let's see, I think we're going to have to make them the residents so that they own the bar, and then the bar squads are just going to spawn into the town and walk into the bar, since that has now been set here. So let's see what else there is. World state is not important right now. Trade culture, let's just make it, because there's going to be a bar dude there anyway, so we'll make it empire, but more worldly. And roaming squads, don't really need them right now, but they're just patrolling around the town area. Residents, override town, material, loot spawn. So override town is if something happens in the world, then you can have the town be ruined or something like that if you want to. I think we're done with the town now, so yeah. So all we did was add the residents, the bar squad. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry about that. It should be the mercenary hours. And residents who actually live in the place. And these should be mercenary guild, so they're going to be a different faction. Oh yeah, and then we have to set the faction of the town, and it's going to be our faction. There we go. And then here you can add all kinds of different things for the actual faction. But for now, we don't really need any of that. We're just going to populate the town. So now we're going to have to go into the game. And at this point, it's good to sort of recap maybe what we did. And then also, it's good to write down some of the names and stuff. I'm not going to do that right now, but hopefully I'll remember most of it. So let's start from the very beginning of what we did. So first we created a character, which is the citizen of our town. Then we created a squad for him, which is this one. So completely new squad, completely new people. Then we created or copied the basic mercenary squad, and then we copied the basic bar squad. Now what you should do also is copy these things, so mercenary captain and mercenary heavy, just so that if you ever have to edit them, you don't have to edit the entire mercenary character that is in every town of the game. So you can just edit the ones in your town and just leave everybody else be. But since we're not going to be editing these or doing anything with them for this test purpose, it doesn't matter. But you should always, like I said before, just create new characters and everything for all the people in the in your town. And the same goes with the bar. You can just copy it and then copy everything, copy all the characters here, and then you can edit them if you ever have to. So without the fear of having to actually break anything else in the game. So these are the 3 squads that we did, and then we created a faction. And in this faction we didn't really do much, but it's our faction and we can edit it as much as we want to. Then we created the town and we made it our faction. There's a mercenary squad that spawns into the bar. There's a bar that a squad that spawns into and lives in the bar that we're going to place, and then the citizens are going to be placed into the residential building. Alright, and then I think we'll save and go over here and run the game, and then we'll see if I remember. Oh crap, I actually forgot to do one thing. Every time you mod or create a mod, especially if you create a town, you want to create a test character. So just one more thing, which is just create actually there should be like a tester. Sir test a lot, yeah, that's him. He should have like all his skills be really good. I think. So we're just going to copy. Actually, we're not even going to copy him. We're just going to create a... It's good to create a completely new one, like I've said like 5 times now. But we're going to create a squad for him. So that is here. Tester hours, and it's going to be him. And then we're going to create a new... Oh, what is this? Everything. Weird. Never seen that before. Okay, so game starts, and we're going to create a new one. Test hours. And usually if you're going to create game starts, it's good to add the mod name here, so that when you have like maybe 20 or more of, you know, new starts, you'll know how to find the one that you want. I'll just add a shit ton of money. And here we are going to add the squad. This one, and then we're going to add the town into which he will spawn, which is our town. But since that town doesn't exist yet, I think we're going to have to start the game as a new person. Actually, let's see what happens. I think it's just going to maybe spawn here or something. So, or we're going to get an error. If you ever like develop your own games, then if the game tries to find something that isn't there, it's going to give you an error. But with modding tools, usually the error is sort of, it's going to test if the town is there, and then if it's not, then it's going to do something else. But well, we'll see if it works now. So no, everything should be all right. The new game start, and then all the squads. Let me just click the save 5 times to make sure everything works. And over here we have a crap ton of all kinds of mods, and we're going to test populations. We're select none and test population. And let me just see this one. Resolution is low, which is good. All right. Been a while since I ran this. Okay, so we're gonna do a new game, and we're gonna find this one, and we don't need any of the advanced options. So let's see what happens. Not sure if I play this after I got some new parts for my PC. Upgraded my CPU and RAM and stuff. Might be good to get back to the game at some point if I get time. Seems loading times haven't gotten any better for me, at least. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about Kenshi 2. Because they're probably going to do things a little different with the modding especially as well. I'm not sure, I haven't actually checked it out because I don't want to spoil anything, but let me turn the volume down a little bit so you can hear my voice. I think everything is fine. Okay, so we're in the hidden forest. And it's pretty laggy. I don't even remember the controls for this game. Okay. So, but I remember where this is pretty much. It's not the safest place maybe, but that's alright. We're just gonna run over somewhere where we can just place the buildings and the town marker. And I think she was armed, right? Yeah, should be okay. I don't remember this area that much. I think I've spent too much time around here. Just gotta remember not to start actually like playing the game and just forget I'm doing a video. I'm not sure why it's so laggy either. Alright, so we're just gonna go... Let's go over here. Nice open little area. Oh, fuck. Alright, whatever. We'll probably get attacked or something, but we'll see. So first I will press Shift F12. I remembered it. So there's a scout outpost. It shows you locations of towns and just ruins and stuff. So we're going to click on the town placement, and then we're going to choose this one. So all the ones that are red aren't placed anywhere, and all the ones that are black are placed, or brown or whatever. And then you can see a number, which is the number of those towns. So there's 4 way stations, and this one is your outpost, so it's all the outposts that you're going to place. You can rename them once you've placed them, but they always like default that one. We're going to take this one and just place the statue marker right here, and all the buildings are going to have to be within this circle. And if there are 2 circles that what's the word, intertwine and mix, juxtaposition, I don't know, are in the same area, then there's going to be a conflict of which town the building belongs to. So right here there's a space between these areas, which is good. So then we're going to go over to the buildings. The first thing we're going to find is the bar. And of course there's no building that is the bar, but there is, let's see now, snail house. I think there's, whoops, I didn't mean to place that. Undo. So I think there is a bar option for this building, so we're just going to put it right here somewhere and confirm, and then we're going to click the door, or no, actually, yeah, we're going to have to items, no, fixed stuff. Let's see what fixed does, yeah. So we're going to have to first select this mod here, so this is which mod these buildings are going to be saved into. So just make sure that once you have this make sure that you have this selected, or otherwise it won't save any of the buildings. So let me save the mod here, and I'll actually exit and just see faction hours, and we can buy it. There shouldn't be anyone in there, so we're just gonna have a look. So you can buy empty buildings by default. Right. So then we're gonna start editing it, and I think interior, this is for the building, so I should access the should be able to access the actual interior and exterior of the building, but I don't really remember how to do it right now. I'll edit the video here just to make sure that it won't take too long to find it. Okay, there we go. So what you need to do is deselect the building here, and then click the door. Just little things that you always forget. So over here, the interior is first, so we're going to choose the bar as the interior. So it's a default sort of interior setting, so it has all of the oh here, let me, oh crap, sort of bogged down now, but it has all the default sort of stuff in there. And then the bar sign is for the outside, and if you can remember the bar squad, it had the same, exactly the same exteriors and interiors here. So let's do interior edit mode. Yeah, there we go. So you can edit this a little bit to your liking, but I would suggest that you rename this to whatever you're editing, and then remember that the squad that you want to come in here needs to have the exact same interior and exterior as this building has. So let me just like bar hours, and if I save it, you can see that there's a new setting here now, but we're not going to use this because it's exactly the same as the bar, and we don't want to edit anything, and then we'd have to go back to the modding tool and then change it to bar hours. It's also usually best not to use spaces like I did here, and use like an underscore or something like that in between the words. It's just good practice, really. But for now it doesn't matter. So we're going to save this one. We're going to save the bar sign, and it's a snail house. So now we can exit and we can save it, and now this building, oh, he can just run through, or she can run through it. Not sure what's going on there. And then the bar should be finished, and now we have the squad that should spawn into this town that we set in the editor. Now we're going to take another building, and we're going to choose just a small, I think like a storm house should do. And yeah, that's the way you turn it around. Just put the doorways facing each other, and make sure it's within the circle, and then confirm the building. And now we're going to deselect this one and click the door, and we are going to choose the residential small, it seems. So I already forgot what it was civ interior, so we're gonna click the interior edit mode, and it's going to be civ interior. Save it, and then civ exterior. Save it, and this doesn't actually, I don't think it doesn't have any exterior like signs or anything, so anything you place outside of the building is going to be counted as an exterior. So if you have, I think like if you place down weapons and things like that, I think they might be interior even though they're like on top of the building. Let me see here. Yeah, so these are considered interior, I think, because they are technically, they're not in the building, but sort of used by it. And then everything like signs and stuff you place on the walls, and I think like light fixtures on the exterior, those are the exterior here, mentioned here. And then you can add things like nodes to the building where like guards stand and stuff. So if you want to create your entire building from scratch, you can let's see, buildings, and I think they're considered buildings, yeah. So node, defensive position, general, guard post, light mount, or something like, things like that, and then you can just place them over here, and then you can save it. But I'm not gonna add any of those for now. So I think we're good. Save that, and then exit this one, and then save the mod again. Now, if we exit... Oh, actually, let's see what happens if I just click reset population. Oh, I disappeared too. Wonder where I am now. Nowhere. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to exit. And we're going to start a new game. Oh, right. There's no back to menu in Kenshi. So we're going to start a new game. Have that test population mod on. And now, if we're lucky, everything should be as intended. So there should be a bar squad, there should be a resident squad, there should be a bar keep, and we should actually spawn into the town. If it doesn't, then crap. Alright, so actually, yeah, we at least spawned in the right place. So let's see if there's anyone actually here. Yeah, so that door is broken, so we should be able to just walk in there. So, the leader... I don't remember what orders I gave them, but the other squad had, like, just orders... Oh yeah, the other squad is just standing around. So it's these two. Are just standing here. They have no orders whatsoever. These three were ordered to just hang around inside the house and use stuff for 24 hours a day. And then the leader was sent on patrol, so he's just walking around here. And now you can see the bar door is open, which means that somebody opened it, which means that there should be a barkeep and the mercenaries here, right? And let's just check that we can talk to him. The dialogue works. He has items. And I think these, there is, you need to do something else to populate the containers with items. But I think the vendor thing and the civilian thing, I think they have like automatic, like there are items in the crates and stuff. Maybe. Actually, everything's empty. But I think the civilians' houses are pretty empty anyway. Like, there's items on the barrels and stuff, but there aren't maybe anything in these barrels. So you have to do something else for that. And since I can't really remember exactly how to do it, but I think it's just vendor stuff. And then if you want to place items on the ground, you can do that as well, but that's a little bit different. But since this video has already gone on far too long, because I didn't plan a script for it, then I think this will do. Now, if you're gonna add walls, they have to be within the circle, or otherwise the walls won't. I think the walls might actually not even function, like you can just walk through them. The gate should be controlled by the faction and not just be on the, like, just randomly here, because if the building doesn't have a faction, then you can't control anything that happens with it. But this went relatively painlessly, which is good. I still remember a few things here and there, it seems. But if you have any questions, or if I went a little bit too fast, or if I skipped something that you're interested in, just let me know in the comments, and I'll try and answer them, because I might not be able to make separate videos, but I should be able to just sit down and reply to all the comments. So hope this helped. And I actually, now that I'm playing this game, I miss Kenshi, and I might actually be playing it again for old time's sake, and maybe even create some mods. Who knows? But have a good one, and hope this helped.